Hi guys, a huge problem with members of the public is that they are convinced that there are simple solutions to complex problems. And of course, where do they get the idea that there are simple solutions to complex problems? Well, from the likes of Nigel Farage and Nick Ferrari. So people in politics and people in the media have allowed members of the public to come to the conclusion that you just need to do one thing and it's going to stop everything. So of course, when it comes to immigration, we've heard all sorts of solutions to stopping the boats. But this is probably one of the worst yet. Have a listen.
We've got enough foreigners as it is without having any more.
Well,
I think that they should put...
to one, actually. There we are.
Oh, well, yeah, buongiorno, yeah. It's getting silly now, isn't it? I mean,
well, I think it's been getting silly for a long time. I can understand your fury at the French. What do you think they should be doing that they're not doing, Ivan?
I think that you shouldn't pay them... on your show a few weeks ago, you say they give 700 million, stop the money, and we just get a couple of Royal Navy boats and put a nice net over across the middle, just say, look, we've got enough people coming over, and that was stopped.
Now, you're having sport with me, aren't you? Because you know you can't put a net across the English Channel, Ivan.
Well, why not?
Well...
Why not? I mean, I believe Hong Kong does this.
Okay, there's be things called, there are ferries, there are lifeboats, there are all sorts of vessels that rightly ply the water, so a net is not going to work, is it, Ivan?
I don't know. We've never tried it.
We've never tried it. We've never tried training seagulls to attack small boats. We've never tried firing rockets at them. We've never tried using Harrier aircraft to pick them up and take them back to France. We've never... This is insane. And once again, you have simple solution. Oh, a simple solution. Put a net in the channel. At least there was a little bit of pushback from Nick Ferrari. Yes, well, what about the ferries? What about the cargo ships? What about lifeboats that are operating in the channel? How are they going to navigate this net of yours? But also, something these people don't seem to understand is that, okay, let's say, and I'm doing a lot of heavy lifting here, let's say for the sake of argument, you're able to get a net and you're able to put it in the channel, and somehow you're going to be able to avoid the problem of ferries having to use the channel at the same time as there's a net there. What do you do then? Because if you stop people in the channel, where do they go? And it's not about the boats themselves, it's about the people. The people are in the boats and the people want to get to England. They want to get to Britain. So if they're stopped in the channel, somebody has to pick them up. They have to be brought somewhere. And if they're in English waters or if they're closer to a safe port in England, obviously that's where they're going to go. So this whole thing of, well, we just need to stop the boats in the water, in the channel, is the solution. But the people don't seem to take the next step and ask, okay, then where do the people go? Because you may have stopped the boat in the water, and then what happens? They don't think further than the very first step. They just spew whatever the first thought that comes into their head. People actually take more time to actually look for the phone number on LBC, to type it in on their phone, than to actually think about their argument that they're presenting. And of course, people like Nigel Farage, Reform, Richard Tice and others will welcome this sort of rhetoric because they know that, okay, we have these people in the bag. These people are going to vote for us because we're talking exactly like them. We'll talk about, we just stopped the boats. That's it. Boats are stopped. Zia Youssef on Sky News the other day saying, you just have to assume that we'll stop the boats and then what we'll do is we'll start deporting people. No, you don't assume that the boats are stopped. You actually have to present a plan to stop the boats. Now, we know the way to stop the boats. It's to create safe routes, but nobody wants to talk about that. That would actually work. Or you could at least try that. It would be better than trying to put a net in the English Channel. A net. I think it was Priti Patel that was talking about using wave machines. I don't know what Suella Braverman came up with, probably something like that. But all you do is, if you're talking about nets or wave machines or whatever, is you stop the boats in the channel, maybe, if, once again, doing a lot of heavy lifting there. But even if you do stop the boats, then what happens? Nobody asks the follow-up question. Then where do the people go? the reform lot will say, well, they will go back to France. No, because these people don't want to stay in France. They're crossing the channel to get to the English shore. So they're determined to do that. And in some cases, they're willing to risk their lives to do that. So if they're stopped somewhere in the channel, they have to be picked up at some stage. They're not going to just give up and turn back. It's important for the media to call out this crap. Nick Ferrari sort of did, but we can be guaranteed that Ivan didn't go away with some sort of new idea, realizing actually what I'm talking is absolute tripe. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.